Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Who Would You Play? And today, I've got a very special guest all the way from Australia. We have Tristan with us. Tristan, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you going?
I'm all good, all great. And how excited are you for the India tour of Australia?
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm planning to go to any match that's in Sydney, really. I've missed live cricket, in all honesty.
So what do you think this time will the Australians get the revenge of the 2018 tour?
I really hope we do. I think we should, in all honesty. We have a much stronger batting lineup. And that'll allow our bowlers a lot more time to rest because that was the main problem last time. Pujara just wore them down. I think the limited overs matches are actually going to be very interesting because it's going to give good insight into what's going to happen in the World Cup next year.
So today we'll be discussing about the T20 teams for Australia and India. And would you like to start with your T20 teams first?
Sure. So obviously opening the batting, I had Aaron Finch, captain as well. He's a consistent performer, especially in Australian conditions, and he's shown everyone what he can do with the bat. I have questions over his tactical ability as a captain, but he seems to win games off his bat a lot, and he's a good leader of men. So can't really fault him on that. I had Warner opening with him. Don't really need to talk much about David Warner. Everyone knows what he can do. He had a great IPL.
Yeah. I love David Warner personally because I'm a big SRH fan.
You'll see, throughout the 11, I've left out a few test players because I feel like, especially Australia will want the test series is the priority, especially this summer. So I've left out Smith and Cummins, just to name two. But Warner doesn't need that time to transfer between formats. He can flow in perfectly. We saw him do it last year scored a mountain of runs in the T20s against Pakistan and Sri Lanka, and then scored a triple hundred and a huge 100 against Pakistan in the first two tests. So he'll be fine. I had Stoinis picked next. He's had a good IPL. He scored a few 50s and bowled some pretty handy spells, I reckon. And he just gives a useful bowling option to the captain. If runs are leaking, he can bowl in the power play or he can bowl in the middle or at the death. So he'll be great. He needs to be at the top of the order. Justin Lang has shown that he loves having him at the top of the order, so he has more time to get himself in. Doesn't have to slog from right at the beginning. I had Matthew Wade at 4. Him and Stoinis, I would have personally them interchangeable, so you can keep a left-right hand combination because we know how India's great with their spin. You don't want them to be able to tie up two right-handers. I had Wade over Smith because Smith does need to. I love Smith. He's one of my favorite cricketers ever, but he needs to focus on tests, I feel like, and I think the coaching setup will have that as well. I like Wade because he can bat anywhere in the order. He can come in and slog from the get-go. He can come in, rotate, strike. And I think they want to see what he can do at international level as well because the World Cup's coming up next year. Australia hasn't really historically spent a lot of time exploring their depth in T20, so we'll see what happens there. I had Maxwell picked next. He's a match winner, full stop. He had a terrible IPL, and I'll be the first to admit that. But he can do things that other players can't. And that's why I think he needs to be in the team. He can score 100 off 40 balls if he has a good day, and he's a good bowler too. Gives Aaron Finch an option turning away from the left-handers, and he's the best fielder in the world. So I don't think you can leave him out. Carey at 6 is keeping. I'm a bit disappointed in Carey. He's solid at best, I feel. He hasn't really shown his full potential at international level. He had a decent World Cup and he scored runs in England this year, but he needs to do a bit to establish himself as Australia's next long-term wicketkeeper. Especially, he's kind of nailed down that position in white ball, but he's spoken about his ambitions to play tests, so he needs to kind of step up. Ashton Agar at 7. He's a good bowler, more than handy batsman, and a really good fielder. and he's been performing consistently for the last few years. He's been given a long go in the team and hasn't won matches. Like, he hasn't done anything that's made me go, wow. But he's always contributed to wins. And I feel like he's done enough to secure a spot for the World Cup next year, so he should be able to have time to get himself in. Stark at 8. Like Warner, I don't feel like he needs to be rested for the test. I rested Cummins because he will be bowling a lot of overs. He's like the workhorse of the test bowling attack, so he needs to rest. And he played the IPL. He knows what he's doing, so he can have the break. Stark hasn't had high level competitive cricket. He's played the Shield, but for him that's pretty low intensity. He missed out on the IPL, which I was sad about. But I think he needs to get a bit of international cricket under his belt before he goes into the tests. Sean Abbott I picked instead of Pat Cummins. Like I said, need to rest Cummins, but Abbott's been a solid performer in the BBL for the Sixers for the past. And he's been performing really well in the Shield in the last few weeks. So he got picked in the test squad. I'm excited to see him play at international level because it's been years since he played. Andrew Tye has just come into the squad because of Richardson's taking time off for the birth of his child. Is that right? Yeah, but Andrew Tye he's a smart bowler. He hasn't really performed at international level at the past, but it's been a while since he had a chance. I still remember Suresh Raina belting him in Sydney, winning India a game. I think he was trying to defend like 12 off the over and Raina hit 3 fours off the first 3 balls. It was between Tye and Daniel Sams for me. Daniel Sams is in the squad as well, but he was lucky to be the leading wicket taker in the BBL last year. I don't feel like he's good enough to be playing international cricket yet. You saw in the IPL, didn't really perform when batsmen put pressure on him. And then finishing off, Adam Zampa. He's a very solid white ball spinner. Bowled extremely well in England. I thought he was a bit unlucky not to get as many games in the IPL, but with only 4 foreign players allowed, they had to make allowances. But modern T20 tactics pretty much dictate that you need a leg spinner in your team. So I feel like he's a lock for the World Cup next year as well. Bowls well in Australian conditions and can hold a bat as well, which is handy. Going through this 11, everyone down to 11 can, at the very least, slog. So I'm excited to see how we go.
So moving forward to my 11, and then we'll discuss more about Big Bash and its new rules, actually. I really want to know your opinion on this. So moving forward to my 11 first, I've gone for Dhawan and KL Rahul as my openers. I wanted to go for someone like a Mayank or Samson, but then looking at Dhawan and his IPL performances, Dhawan made it pretty easy to pick him over Mayank and Samson. I've gone for Virat Kohli at number 3. At number 4, I've gone for Shreyas Iyer. At number 5, I've gone for Manish Pandey. I feel that player is really underrated. He can really steady the innings and he can also hit 4s and 6 at his will. So I would pick him in my T20 team all the time. At number 6, I'm going for Hardik Pandya. Now, Pandya is a bit of a concern as he's not bowling, but coming in at number 6, he can hit from the first ball. So I feel, having Hardik as a batsman also can be beneficial for the team. At number 7, I've gone for Washington Sundar. Now I had a bit of a confusion. Should I go for Washington Sundar or should I go for Ravindra Jadeja? But probably Kohli will play Sundar only and Jadeja will probably play both Test and ODI. So I think Sundar would be a more realistic pick. So at number 8, again, what Adam Zampa is doing for Australia, number 8, Chahal will be doing for India, I feel. He's, again, amazing and picks up wickets whenever the captain needs. At number 9, getting a caller for the first time, I've gone for Natarajan. I could have gone for someone like Deepak Chahar or a Navdeep Saini, but with Navdeep Saini, again, I think he's going to play both Tests and ODI. So T20s, I'm pretty sure he'll go for Natarajan, or he might go for Deepak Chahar. But Natarajan, the IPL he's had, I think I would pick him over Deepak Chahar. And at number 10 and 11, the arrowheads of Indian bowling attack, Bumrah and Shami. And yeah, that's my 11.
I wanted to talk about Hardik Pandya actually. I think it's funny that he's like similar to Maxwell in the sense he's just that X factor player that can pull off something that no other player can. And even without his bowling, he's still worth picking. He'd probably make any T20 11 internationally in the world if he was like eligible. So yeah, I love him. I was good to watch. It was so good to watch him in the IPL.
Yeah. Now talking about Big Bash new rules. Are you happy with the rules?
No, I'm not. I think, I don't know why they've decided to change it so drastically. Like, I was reading through them the other day and it just felt like rules that I would have played with like in a kids 8-a-side competition. And it's kind of like, I don't know, like one of the rules was something about there's at the 10 over mark, if the chasing team is ahead of where the team that batted first was, they get a point.
Yeah.
But if they're behind, the defending team gets a point, and then the 3 points go to the winner. So I kind of feel like it's going to put a lot of pressure on the top order of teams because like if you're chasing a total, you have to go hard from the outset, and it'll also make teams bat harder, like bat quicker in the first 10 when they're setting. So it'll be interesting to see how teams adapt to it. Like it'll probably mean putting more power hitters up the top and not having like that anchor role come in as much. So, and then the substitute rule I dislike immensely. I think didn't they try that in international cricket in like the early 2000s and then gave up on it, like the super sub?
I have no idea, bro.
Yeah, like I don't know why they needed this.
And like honestly, had it been football where conditions of the pitch and batting first, the conditions don't matter so much, but in cricket, batting first, batting second, and the conditions, the like over time, how the conditions turn out to be, the dew factor, blah blah blah, so these things matter so much. And I feel that 1 point thing in the mid innings is a pretty unnecessary rule, I feel.
I agree. The other interesting thing was the power play. They've changed that, so now it's just a 4 over power play, and then you get 2 overs that would have been in the first 6 or whenever you want after the 10th. But are other competitions going to be following this around the world? Are you going to see this in the IPL next year? Probably not. Like, why are they changing a formula that's recognised worldwide and has been in place since T20 started? So. Did it need to change? That's my main question. Did any of the things they've changed need to change?
Quickly, moving on to what do you think the series is going to look like, or what the scoreline is going to be for the T20 series?
The T20 series, I think India will win. Purely because, I think India will win. For a few reasons. You're a better T20 team historically, and even in Australian conditions. A lot of your top order like the ball coming onto the bat, so the fast pitches won't bother you that much.
But I feel India is going to lose the test really bad, and ODI as well.
I don't know about the ODIs. I reckon you guys could have us there, because the last series, I don't think Australia won a match when you were here last time.
I think
really remember.
You guys won the last game, if I'm not mistaken.
When the series was already dead. India is such a strong ODI team. Kohli is the master of ODIs. He's going to go down in history as the best ODI player ever, without a doubt in my mind. He's got so long left in his career. He has so much time to just rack up huge numbers. I'm actually really excited to see how good he is. Like, I can't wait for him to pass Tendulkar's numbers. I feel like that'll be a huge moment for him and for Indian cricket.
And I think that's something even we are looking forward to. And what about tests? You guys are pretty confident?
I think we are.
Without Kohli?
Well, that's amazing. I was surprised when I read that. hard for him to miss the birth of his child. I understand that. But, it's just unlucky, I guess, and it's lucky for us. Like it makes the series more in Australia's favour, but I don't think you can write India off because you have so much batting talent. If Pujara does what he did last time, I'll be so upset. That was hard to watch last time. I was in Sydney for day 2 of the test match last time. I think it was day 2, and Pujara batted for the whole day, and Rishabh Pant came in and got 100, and that was one of the worst days of test cricket I've ever attended.
All right, then. Thank you so much for doing this episode with me, and I hope the viewers enjoyed it. That's it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. And thank you, Tristan, so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's not a problem. And I hope we can do more episodes. I hope India, Australia play more frequently. Honestly, we are tired of playing Sri Lanka. We don't want to play Sri Lanka anymore. So I hope it's Australia and England and South Africa more often so that, we get to see great cricket.